have now. The money is there now, but some persons are actually sitting down on that money, or they're actually looting the money. We need to actually check them, hold them accountable, and say, okay, the state government, you have received so amount in the last 6 months. What have you used the money for? You paid salaries and all that, yes. So our leaders need to be accountable to the people. Let the people feel the dividends of democracy.
Okay. Aside the accountability, you know, are you of the school of thought by some analysts who are of the opinion that the government should embark on what Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala did during her time? Recall that on a monthly basis, she was publishing some a kind of journal where all the revenue allocation for a month are published. And the expectation of state governors is to respond. What have you done with this? At least to be accountable, not responsible, to be accountable to the allocation of money that was shared to them. Are you of the opinion that the government should embark on things, though it didn't go down well with a lot of the governors, but can we just embark on such for the sake of transparency and accountability? Like, do you support that?
Yeah, it's actually supported 100%. Everybody, every follower, every citizen of Nigeria wants our leaders to be accountable. We want to know what they are using these monies for. Because if we know what they are using these monies for, we will not complain about the new tax reform bills that is coming up in 2026. Okay. Because there will be transparency that, okay, if you are increasing the taxes, increasing the rate of taxes, yes, we know, we can see where the money is going into. But now, there's no transparency, and then citizens will be looking for a way not to pay taxes, even though it is legal for them to pay taxes, and it is illegal for them not to pay. Oh. But citizens are clamoring that we want to know the taxes that we are paying, what are they using it to do? We are not feeling the impact. Most of the roads are bad. Insecurity is also there. Unemployment is also growing. What are they using these funds to do? They are not providing welfare to the people, to their citizens. Most of the governors are pointing to the federal government. This is federal road. We cannot do it and all that. So we need to actually hold our leaders accountable. So if the publication of allocations to states can be published on the internet, virtually everywhere.
Where everybody can just listen.
So that people get information and they can now use that to ask questions, you know. Hold their leaders accountable, especially the local government. We want to know how much has the local government received from the inception of the local government autonomy, that they are receiving funds directly to the local government. What does the local government do? This is the government that is very much closer to the people. And they need to actually feel them and also feel the impact of what the president has helped us to achieve of this local government autonomy. That's judgment in the Supreme Court. So these are the things. We need to actually get this information to the citizens so that we can hold them accountable. Apart
from the sub-national, which is the state government, do you not also think that the federal government or the powers that be, especially the agencies concerned, should also embark on a massive enlightenment campaign to get the people to know the direction of government? Because it is always said that when a purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So that you enlighten Nigeria maybe on a monthly basis or maybe on a weekly basis, on, like you said, on internet, where all Nigerians can lay hands on in order to be aware of what government is doing. Maybe it will reduce
the last administration actually piloted something that will give that information to the people, which is the open treasury system. The open treasury system was actually, you know, inaugurated, launched by President Muhammadu Buhari. I think around 2020 or 2019 or thereabout. That system is still there, housed by the Office of the Accountant General, so that anybody at any time can just go to opentreasurysystem.gov.ng or so. I think a website like that.
All the information are there.
And you will see all what is coming in and what is going out.
Okay.
But I think that system is not being updated again. And I think the awareness about that open treasury system is actually going down. We also noticed sometime that contractors were protesting non-payment of their contracts, especially in the areas of the budget that we are running now. That's where the federal government is actually not getting it right. Okay. We are still running 2024 budget up till now, and 2025 is already going to an end. Some of the 2024 capital expenditures are not yet financed. Yet we are saying that our revenue is growing, but we are having backlogs of responsibility of government for 2024. So where is the money? Are they locking it somewhere?
The same question I will ask. Where is the money?
Maybe they are locking it in the Treasury House, and this money is not coming out.
Okay.
So that's just where we are now.
Okay. Let's take these economic parameters one after the other, and we'll start with the MPR. What do you think has led to the reduction of the MPR? And the question is, do you think it will also help business, the people on business community, those on investment, those that are interested in lending money, to lend more money and improve investment on the nation's economy as well as the general welfare?
Yeah, it's also, how will I put it now? There are two sides to a coin. Okay. When the interest rate was very high, I think about 27 point something percent.
27.5.
27.5 or thereabouts. That made investors, that was what led to increase in, I think, portfolio investment in Nigeria, where people from outside decided to, put money in Nigeria because the interest rate is actually attractive. The lenders are getting more money. You just sit down, 27% comes as interest on your money. So now that the interest rate is going down, that's why I said it has not really gone down very well. It's just
by 50 basis points.
Yes, it's still small. It's coming down. That 50 basis points will take our lending rate to maybe around maybe 25% or thereabouts.
26.5 or 27%.
So it's still high.
27%.
It's still high. The lenders are still okay with that kind of rate, but the borrowers are the ones feeling the pinch. Will that lending rate encourage business people or businessmen to go and borrow money to do the business? How much are they going to get as profits, especially this time that taxes are already increasing and the tax net is getting widened? So these are the things. Even if you must borrow, I think I did a research on financing businesses, whether by equity or by debt financing. The proper mix, every business should have a proper mix of the both. Businesses should not totally depend on debt financing, going to borrow to finance their business. It should be more of equity financing than the debt financing. So they should try to raise funds, by way of raising shares, people coming to be shareholders of their businesses, than going to say, only me, let me just go and borrow the money and pump into the business. You will suffer more interest, especially now that the interest rate is still high. So the reduction, yes, it will encourage a little more borrowing, but it's not yet good enough. It's not yet there for businessmen to actually see it as attractive for them to go and do some borrowings. And
we say that is why the CBN is skeptical about reducing the lending rate. Since you said that it's like they are the middle, the umpire,
the lender and the borrower.
Yes, the lender and the borrower, which you have to put into consideration before affecting any policy on the rest of them. Then, again, do you think that the reduction in lending rate will continue?
Oh yes, as
by the CBN, and what would be your advice to the CBN, given the fact that they are in between the two sides of the coin?
It's not a problem at all. There are indices that influences decision of reducing the MPR or increasing. It's not as if CBN just sits and say, let us increase or let us reduce. There are indicators that prompt those decisions.
Which CBN will monitor.
Yes, one of them is the inflation rate. We'll continue to see inflation dropping. If we can achieve our inflation, Mr. President said that we want to achieve inflation rate of 15%.
He said so.
Within 1 year. We are also monitoring.
Whether we'll get there.
If we'll get there. Now we are very close to 20%. I think we're about 22% or so, or 21%. So we are still going to 15%. So if this inflation rate continue to go down, definitely it doesn't make logical sense when inflation is going down and interest rate is still high up there, or MPR still high up there. So the CBN, we don't have a choice than to bring down the lending rates, bring down the MPR, so that investors can now come in. It means that the economy is now steady and open for business. The way it is now, we are not fully open. We are opening the windows gradually. By the time this inflation rate comes down, and then the NPR and the interest rate also drops, then we are now opening our economy up to the world for them to come and do business and, you know, invest. And then that will also help us to create job. So we want this rate to drop. As it's dropping, our youth will be getting employed. They will be getting things to do. And we also still pray that let power also be fixed. Once electricity is also fixed and is affordable and available based on the word of the president in 2023,
we are hoping so.
Then you will see job creation. Our youth will be happy, they will be gainfully engaged, and the economy will be good. I'm sure those that jackpot before, they will start considering
back to Nigeria. Honestly, we are hoping to receive them so that we can begin to enjoy a buoyant economy. Again, the federal government has announced and making emphatical announcement that the economy, Nigeria's economy, is growing, and now we are recording about 4.2% now.
Growth, GDP growth, yes.
GDP growth now, and again, the people are saying, where is the growth? What has led to the growth? Are we talking about the harvest season? Is it a contributor? Or maybe the inflation will be a contributor again? How will you respond to that?
Let me break it down. Let me explain this GDP. The GDP is like, you know, a big pot of food that the whole family wants to share, the whole nation. Now, the smaller your pot of food, the smaller your GDP. And you know, many people, our population is plenty and it's growing. Imagine everybody now struggling to, you know, feed on that.
Of the pot.
Possibly, we say, before we even put food in this pot, we have a common debt. Our national debt is high. We have to pay our debt. We are owing some people food. Let's cut inside. We are also doing subsidy. Let's cut inside. And then what is left will be very small. But what has led to this growth, just like I said, is the petroleum industry game changer, which is the refining capacity that Nigeria now has in Dangote refineries. What has been consuming our food before was importation and subsidy together at the same time. We are importing, paying in dollars, and we are also, you know, subsidizing. And the crude that we have, Nigeria is blessed with crude oil and gas. We had already, you know, used our natural resources to borrow money ahead. And that's why we see that Nigeria's borrowing was so high. In fact, our debt servicing and revenue, they were almost at par. Debt service to revenue of Nigeria was almost at par, 90-something%. So, which we are still there. Our borrowing is still, our debt is still high. If we can also bring those debts down, because now that the monies are coming, I'm sure Mr. President is also using those gains of this growth to also offset some of the debts that we are owing. And that's why probably we are not really feeling it now very well. So if those debts are, you know, financed, they are serviced, and then we can, you know, get some more change for ourselves, then what is also helping us is because we are not carrying our dollars, our end dollars from crude to go and be paying subsidy or, you know, all that. We also saw that crude oil production has also increased. Those are the indices that is making money to come in. And we are seeing our foreign reserve growing close to $42 billion now, as our foreign reserve. So these are the indices we are seeing. The money is coming. But just like I said, where are they keeping the money? We are not feeling the impact of the money.
Where are they keeping the money?
They are sharing big figures at FAC, but it's not getting to the grassroots. So we need to actually trace what is actually happening.
We need to actually trace what is happening. Okay. Meanwhile, the CBN recently attributes the reduction of the MPR and other policies of the bank to the current economic stability of the country. How true is that? Yes,
the economy is actually getting stable. I think that's a plus without being biased to the central bank governor. Yes, he has tried a little to stabilize the economy. Just like I said before, the central bank is only saddled with the responsibility of managing the monetary policy. Because the economy, you know, regulating the economy is through two policies, monetary policy and the fiscal policy. So the monetary aspect of the policy that is using to re-engineer the economy, yes, he's actually trying his best. And that's why we are seeing the result with the inflation dropping, NPR dropping,
the growth increasing,
you know, GDP growing. But at the fiscal part, we are having a lot of problems.
Taxation. Taxation.
At the fiscal part, we are having some challenge. We are increasing taxes. Our budget is not balanced. You know, we are still trying to swindle between 2024 and 2025 budget, and 2026 budget is already, you know, they started the process of 2026 budget. So that side, the fiscal policy part, is what is still dragging us a little. If government can try to, you know, get close the fiscal policy and the monetary policy, then we'll get it right from there. Mind you, fiscal policy also is part of how the citizens are feeling these monies that they are sharing at the FAT level. You know, at the state level, let us see more jobs created. Let us see infrastructures. Let us see power being stable in some states. Electricity, you know, good roads, so that people can, you know, be able to bring out their farm produce from their farm to the market, you know. So those are the things we are actually looking at.
But apart from the Federal Capital Territory, can we point at any infrastructural development across the states of the nation, apart in Abuja, in the Federal Capital Territory? Nobody can deny that.
That's why the Minister of Works is actually on his toes. And there are some natural things that happens that when it happens, it's actually beyond human capacity. In Nigeria, anytime we are in the raining season, our infrastructures decay. Why? Why is it like that? I've also sat down to analyze that. That happens because most of these infrastructures they put in place that they do in the dry season, they do not make provision for waterways, adequate enough provision for waterways. Let there be proper drainage system. That's why in Abuja you are saying, they have road. You see the kind of drainage system we have in Abuja. Are we also having that on the highways? We are not having that. So by the time we enter the raining season, the rains will just sweep off all those you know, roads, and it get bad again, you know, very, very fast. And that's why the minister is, you know, saying that let us do concrete roads all over the nation. That these roads are more durable. But it's very expensive. Where do we get the money? So the most important thing is they should ensure that they make provision for adequate waterways for these infrastructures, so that when we get into the raining season, it doesn't affect, you know, these roads, you know, so badly. And that's why we are actually where we are now.
Okay. And again, I want you to emphasize on this, your advice to the government about making adequate provision. There is this periodic flood that sweeps even some homes, not just farms, but some homes, and this has affected us over the years. Can't the government put in place adequate monitoring and supervision framework across states of the nation to help us?
Now you have touched the Ministry of Water Resources.
Is there anything they are doing? Yeah.
Yes. I remember President Yaradua embarked on the dredging of the River Niger and the River Benue. Now, if we are able to dredge our rivers to accommodate more water, because what causes flood is when the rivers overflow its banks. The water will enter anywhere, houses, farm, everywhere. The water will definitely find its ways. But if we can dredge it a little, you know, make it deeper and wider, no matter all the water that is coming from everywhere, they all go into those rivers, and it can accommodate and it flows away without overflowing its banks. So I think it's been quite some time that we have embarked on dredging of our rivers. And that's why we have seen those rivers overflowing their bounds, causing floods. Roads are blocked, houses are swept, farmlands are swept. We've seen a lot of flood happening, you know, in recent time. So the Ministry of Water Resources need to, I don't know, maybe the federal government, they need to reconsider dredging of our rivers, especially the River Niger and River Benue, from the north side, from the top, and then even at the southern part. They should dredge it so that we can have more space for water level to go down. When the water level goes down, no matter the volume of water coming, it will just flow into the river and everything goes away easily. So our rivers are actually due for dredging. And that's why we see floods.
Okay, now to the inflation rate again. For 5 consecutive months, we have recorded a decline of the inflation rate. But you and I know so well that the one that concerns the people is the reduction in the general prices of goods and services, especially consumables, food. Everybody must eat now. So what do you think the government can do to sustain this and to ensure that the general prices of goods and services are coming down, even gradually and steadily, as you mentioned?
Yeah.
Can there be a control mechanism? Anything that can be done?
The prices of food is coming down gradually, the way our economy is growing gradually. We might not be able to feel the impact immediately, the way we actually want it, or to compare it with what it was when, this administration came into power. But it's going to be gradual. And I think Nigerians need to be more patient. It's even better now than where we were. Just like I said, a bag of rice was selling for over 100,000 naira some time ago, towards the end of last year.
100 and something thousand.
But how much is it today? You're selling for 60 something, 70,000 naira.
Are you sure?
Yes, that's the price.
Did you buy recently?
Yes. Okay. How much is it recently?
I don't know. I'm going to make a research
65 to 70.
I'll do a market survey.
And we are going into the season of rice harvest now. So we'll still see the price of rice
coming down.
It will still drop. We're going into the season of harvest of rice. And Nigeria is actually producing enough rice that is enough to meet our local needs and even to export. If not for some of those floods that we are talking about, that's, is causing some havoc to those farmlands. So the prices of food are actually dropping. Check the statistics. But the drop is not significant. It's just dropping small.
Yeah, it's infinitesimal, as we say it in
the
economics.
price is dropping a little. Why? A major thing that drives price of food, I've always said it, the price of diesel. These foodstuff are transported on diesel. Thank God for the CNG that is coming in. CNG is also becoming something else, maybe scarce. Because we see a lot of queue for CNG.
Some people may have to queue for this.
Yes, for CNG. Yeah. So, being the CNG is also flowing as the alternative to diesel, just like you said. We can see the cost of transportation. We also, because transportation is one thing that drives price of food so fast. So, transportation has not gone down. So, we are not expecting food price to also just drop drastically. Transportation is still almost the same. So, if we can still work on bringing down the price of diesel and fuel, I think it will be better for us. But if you ask me, the way the government have sanitized the downstream sector now, and we are not importing, Dangote refinery is actually producing, and we are meeting our local needs, demands. It will also be good. And now that we have a lot of money, that is flowing, if government can bring back subsidy a little. Yes.
Subsidy?
Yes.
Reduce or to
subsidize the price of fuel from Dangote refinery. Subsidy is not bad. People are thinking that subsidy is totally bad. What made our own subsidy to be bad was corruption, because people were claiming subsidy for supplies they never did. So, but now with Dangote refinery, Dangote will be supplying this fuel straight with his truck. That's where we are going now. So the downstream sector is sanitized a little. That's why we see all this rancor, this noise in the downstream sector. So if they can pay this subsidy to Dangote refinery and it supplies this product to the service stations nationwide, it will be easy, very easy to track subsidy. The subsidy might not be much, but even if it's just subsidized, let's say now we are buying close to 900 and government subsidized to 700
or 500 even.
500 might be much because it's almost 50%. So, but if they can subsidize from 900 to 700, I can tell you that we'll feel the impact of the drop in the prices of food and other things.
All right, as we round off, what's your general advice for Nigerians on the state of the nation and to the government in 1 minute?
Now, the general advice is that government should still, especially the central bank, should continue the momentum of managing the monetary policy the way we are going.
Okay.
Slow and steady will win the race, but government should do something about the fiscal policy. It's getting jam-locked. 2024, 2025, 2026 budgets, they are almost coming to 3 years. It has never happened in the history of the country.
Okay.
So this is also a bad record for the government. They need to do something about it.
All right.
And I pray that God will help us and God will bless Nigeria.
All right. The central bank should continue to maintain the momentum in monitoring the MPR, and the federal government should do all it can to ensure a sustainable economy. And that is the size of our package on today's edition of Business and Economy. The guest I have been speaking with is an economic analyst, and he is Dr. Akintunde Ogunsola. Doctor, I want to thank you for finding time to be on today's edition of the program.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
All right. We cannot close the program without appreciating all of our esteemed audience. Thank you so much for spending part of your time with us on today's edition of the program. I'm sure you have gained something. Enjoy the rest of our programming. I am ILE Emeje.